Well, what about caffeine? I know a lot of students here in college drink caffeine from all kinds of stuff. Well, how does caffeine affect people?
So what's interesting about caffeine is, it's obviously a stimulant.
Uh-huh.
And if you're exhausted, let's say, and you're having a very hard time staying awake, and you're thinking to yourself, I just need to get this data entered into a spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in that case, that caffeine might help facilitate something like that,
Yeah.
although the error rate might go up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you're doing a task that is well practiced,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you consume caffeine when you're tired, it can help raise the function of a well practiced activity.
Yeah.
The problem is it gives us the illusion, though, on the other end, for a non well practiced activity, the caffeine actually interferes with it. So if you're saying to yourself, I really need to, let's say you're a senior or graduate student and you're trying to synthesize complex ideas, that's where we see the caffeine really have a detrimental impact on, let's say, creative output.
Yeah.
So, rarely do drugs enhance creativity. They most of the time interfere with it. But if you're trying to produce something creative and you have a blank paper versus something on the paper, we like to think that something on the paper has value, when a lot of times it's just not that good. So I've learned, like a book like this, I did not consume hardly any caffeine when I was working on it. It was too complicated. It was too much thinking going on. It was too much synthesis of ideas like applied cognitive psychology, ethics, biblical integration. That was a lot to put together. So I would have like 1 hour periods of very, very intense work where even a little bit of caffeine you think would be helpful because you're tired, but it actually sort of derails that process. I think we have students, though, who've never done work without caffeine. So they've always produced something in their mind like this is a good product. And maybe they've gotten good grades for it, but at some time it's the process has value too. Like you have to know how you're getting things done to create improvements in it. And at some point you are going to have to engage in more complex creativity and apply that creativity to problem solving. And that's when we see the caffeine oftentimes really interfere with it.